All right, guys, here we go. So kicking off first, you have one of two options. You're going to work up to a heavy power clean, right, from the ground all the way up with no squat, then a hang, pop, catch down the bottom of a squat to a front squat. So it would go power clean, hang squat clean, front squat, or option number two is you can do a power snatch from the ground to overhead, then either a hang power catching overhead again, or a hang squat catching in the bottom of a squat to an overhead squat. Now, all of this is still scalable. Let's say you want to do cleans, you don't have a great mobility to catch in a squat, no big deal. Do a power clean, hang power clean, work your way down to a front squat, you're good to go. You can do the same thing with the power snatch, hang power snatch, work your way down into an overhead squat or as much as you can. Either way, just trying to cycle through a couple different barbell movements that are very similarly related, working a little bit of different avenues, building up heavy, having fun. Part number two, 4 rounds on Fitness and Sport is going to be 12 box jumps, then a 50-foot lunge with a plate overhead, right? After the 50-foot lunge, 100-meter run, 100-meter walk back for your rest, 3 more subsequent rounds. Right after that, take a 3-minute rest at the end of part 2, and you're going to knock out a 2,000-meter row at about 60% of what you could do this at. Keeping it moving, nice and steady, burning through a little bit of body fat, enjoying your day, building cardiovascular capacity. Part 4, lag and muscle, hoo-yah. Power and iron up, part 1, exact same thing. Part 2 is going to be 4 to 5 rounds of seated box jumps. So you're going to sit down onto another box, preferably a little bit lower, but it could be the same height, that's okay. So sit down to the box, pause for a second, jump off the box onto the other box, right? What we want to do, if possible, is hold on to a little bit of weight, but that's going to come secondarily to you being able to make sure you can do this very stable, good and athletic position. If this is a little bit newer, just sit to the box, jump up onto another box, get a great workout, enjoy your day. 12 elevated heel quad squats, holding kettlebells either at the side or in the front rack position. So put something underneath your heels, bumper plate, right? Something to bring you up just a little bit. As you squat down, try to imagine that like you're in an elevator, your upper body stays straight up and down, your knees go forward, you get it into the quads. After that, you got 12 dumbbell sumo deadlifts. So you're gonna take it out nice and wide, bring it straight down, work through your hamstrings. On the last set, whether that be the 4th round or the 5th round for you, instead of doing 12, you're going to do as many as possible, and instead of doing 12 here, you're going to do as many as possible. We don't really want to do that on our first sets because we're coming back to the box jumps, and we want to make sure for the first part we're keeping it nice and athletic, getting a good workout. Then for the final set, it's okay if you burn your legs out to where you can, barely walk like your baby Bambi moving around, because you're not going to jump on another box. So take you about 40 seconds to a minute and a half rest between those rounds, too easy. Part 3, 4 rounds, 12 and 12 single leg reverse hypers. If you don't have a reverse hyper, just do what TDY is doing. 10 4-count flutter kicks, right? So floor count goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. And if you can't keep count, just do 20. All right, it's the same thing. Here we go, right? Because it would go 1, 2, am I off? 1, 2, 3, 1. I guess you'd be doing 40. Sorry, I got a little crazy there for a second. What was it? Jumping jacks. It's jumping jacks. It's 1, 2, 3, 1. Jumping jacks is 2. Sorry, military taking over there. 50-foot weighted calf walk. Too easy. So after that, you got you some dumbbells. You're doing a calf walk. With that, go concentric and lower. Concentric and eccentric. Don't just walk across kind of Fred Flintstone style, sneaking along on your toes. Let it go up and down, up and down. Right? You want to work both sides of that muscle. Resting 1 minute between, lag and muscle, mobility majors, marching orders. TDY, opening up, instead of the max, you got 4 times as many reps as possible. Dumbbell power cleans to dumbbell hang squat cleans to dumbbell front squat. So nice and simple. What's going to happen is you take it from the ground, boom, you catch right here, catch in a squat, do an extra squat, back down to the ground again. As many as you can, right? Resting 1 to 2 minutes between rounds. Part 2, same thing we already talked about, exact same thing. Part 3 is going to be 4 rounds, 12 pulsing Supermans, 10 4-count flutter kicks, right? And as we just realized, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 40 of those. If you can't keep count, every time your leg goes up, just count a rep, take it all the way to 40. 50-foot weighted calf walks, resting 1 minute between. Lag and muscle if you want it, mobility majors, hoo-yah, go over to the MHT Daily IG right after this. to check out any of these movement demos. Hoo-yah, never quit.